Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing a very special collab. It's the Shayla and Colourpop Perception collection. And I have everything here to review for you guys today except for the two highlighters because they just look too dark for me. So she came out with two Luster Dust loose highlighters, Boomin', which is more of like your true gold, not a light gold, not like too dark, just gold. And then we have Pose, which is more of like a rose gold, a little bit of a darker highlighter. But I have the rest of the collection to share with you guys and review today, try on, swatches, all that good stuff. So this is the Perception palette, and oh my gosh, the second I saw this announced, I was like, yeah, I'm getting that. I think this is one of the most beautiful, impressive color schemes I've ever seen Colourpop come out with. Like, this is just perfect. This is so extremely practical, but gives you the ability to be super artistic. And I just love that about this. And normally Colourpop shadows only come with 12 shades, but we have 16 in this palette. You get a nice big mirror. You have the names listed underneath the shadows and on the back. Literally, these two entire rows are just perfect for those of you who love your neutrals, your warm tones. And then you have this section which has a bunch of cool tones, pops of color. I think this was just so extremely well thought out, and this actually reminds me a lot of the Morphe holiday palette, and that was limited edition and definitely more expensive than this. So if you missed out on that palette, you might want to check this one out. So the palette retails for $23, which is definitely more expensive than their usual $16 eyeshadow palettes, but you get 4 extra shades. It's a bigger palette. You get a big mirror inside. It's a collaboration. You have the names listed on there. It's just like a better, overall a better palette, better layout. I just think it's a better deal for your money. Then gotta find that gloss. And she also came out with an ultra glossy lip. This one is in the shade Neat Freak. I will touch on this in the swatches. And we have 3 Luxe lipsticks, which I think is really cool because I feel like liquid lipsticks are flooding the market and have been for a long time. So I think it's kind of cool that we have some regular lipsticks, you know, coming out. So these lipsticks retail for $7 each, and then the gloss, I forgot to mention, $6. So if you guys are interested in this collection, you want to see a tutorial on this look, you want to see some swatches, you want to know, is it worth your money? What do I think about the products? Then go ahead and keep watching. Alright, so we're going to start off with the eyes. You guys know how I like to do it. So this is the Perception palette, at least the outside packaging. And this has a really nice soft matte feel to it. So when we open it up, this is what the Perception palette looks like. Also soft matte, and then we have some rose gold paint splatters, which are obviously metallic. I'm sure you guys can tell. I don't really need to describe that, but you know. So my lids are all prepped and ready with concealer. So I'm going to start off with the shade Culture. Everyone is using this shade for their transition. I mean, actually when I look at this palette, there's not a lot of matte shades. There's literally 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's pretty much the only transition you have to work with, unless you have a deeper complexion. Then I guess you could use this shade. And right off the bat, this is way more pigmented than I expected. I feel like I'm always shocked when I use Colourpop shadows, even though I use them all the time. I'm always so impressed with them. It definitely has more of an orange tint to it on the skin than it does in the pan, but I'm not mad about it. It's really pretty. Definitely pigmented, and it's blending really nicely. If it were me and I was only gonna put one transition shade in a palette, I would have it be more neutral looking, like a neutral brown. This is pretty orange looking, like I said. Like, it's such a beautiful color. I love the shade, but since there are so many universal colors in this palette, warm tones, cool tones, lots of pops of color, I just feel like it would have been a little bit more helpful to have a more neutral transition shade. And then to deepen up the crease and the outer corner, I'm going to pick up the shade Played Out. I have to say, I think Colourpop's mattes are my favorite, like more so than the shimmers. They're just so pigmented and so blendable. And with their shimmers, sometimes they're like complete total hits. I love them, and then other times they're really not buildable or not too foiled or pigmented. The shimmers are a little bit of a hit or miss for me, but the mattes are pretty much always consistently good. I'm just gonna add this to the outer V as well, and then slightly smoke out the edges. And then whenever I introduce deeper colors, I always like to do this step, so I'll take a clean, fluffy blending brush and just go over that, and it just blends itself out, basically. Like already in seconds, this side is looking way better than this one. Voila. By the way, this brush is a Morphe M505. I use this literally every single time I do eyeshadow in every single tutorial. If you see a brush that looks like this, it is the Morphe M505. And then for my all over lid shade, like, oh my gosh, I have to use this. You guys know how obsessed I am with green shadows. This is the shade IE, and I'm just gonna take this on my finger because I feel like that's the best way to apply Colourpop shimmers. Like, oh my gosh. Dead. Dead. This color is just like my green eyeshadow dreams come true. Holy crap, that is stunning. This is a good one. I can't. And then I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this shade called Titus. It's like a deep grayish coal shimmer, and I'm gonna place this kind of in the outer V, but not all the way in the outer V, because that's where I have that deep matte shade. But I do want to just add a little bit of depth to that shimmer. Well, no misses so far from these shimmers. These are so beautiful. And then I'm just going to take a little bit more of that matte played out shade, and I'm going to wing this out a little bit more. I always like my outer V to be matte, and then the transition, I just feel like it pulls all looks together. And then I'll add a little bit in the crease, just a smidge. And then back with my favorite Morphe brush, I'm going to add more of the Culture shade, which was our transition. And I'm adding this above all these colors just to bring it back, because we have a lot of dark colors going on. So I find that this helps just to make it look a little bit more gradient and blended. And then I really want to take some of this gold shade called TF to spice up the inner corner. So I'm just going to take my pinky finger, because that happens to be the smallest tool that I have on me finger-wise. So just right in the inner corners. I don't want to bring it out too far because I just really want those inner corners to pop. And then with a small little brush, I'm just going to really get this in the inner corner because my pinky is just a little bit too fat to get all the way in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back to finish off the lower lash line. Hello, I've returned and I'm back. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up Culture for probably, what, like the 5th? Oh, there goes the brush. I'm going to apply Culture for like the 5th time in this video, just to add like a nice base for the lower lash line. I'm trying my best not to stick my head like all the way down and do this so you guys can somewhat see what I'm doing. Not that this is like a difficult step, but you know. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Played Out, which is that matte dark brown shade, and stick that in the very outer corner and meet it up with the rest of it over here. And then I'm taking the gold and spraying my brush with some MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to pop that right in the inner corner of the lower lash line. And then I'll add a little bit more of Culture right in the middle just to deepen it up. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then I'm going to pick up the shade Unbothered. I'm very pleased that she added a light shimmer shade in the palette. Why could I not speak? I just forgot how to words, you know? I'm sure you all have that. And that's only with like the tiniest bit on my brush. This is super pigmented. And then I can't forget that inner corner. Heck yes. Oh yeah. That is an eye look. I mean, I gotta do the mascara, but I won't bore you with that. I'll do that off camera. All right, so now that the eyes are done, I'm obsessed with them. By the way, I'm so impressed with every single shadow I use today. So moving on to lips, I'm first gonna swatch the gloss. So this is the container it comes in. This doesn't have like the soft matte feel to it, but this is the gloss. It's called Neat Freak. That literally looks like glass. And I love the Colourpop glosses. They're not sticky at all. They don't last the longest, but I mean, like, it's a gloss, pretty easy to throw on and keep in your purse. So this is what Neat Freak looks like on the lips. It's a clear gloss, but it has tiny little pink sparkles with like a little bit of like a peachy flip to them. I feel like this is just like the perfect topper to whatever you want. So moving on to the Luxe lipsticks, I picked up all 3 from the collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the shade Quickie. And I've never tried this formula before, so this will be my first impressions. It says on the website these are supposed to be a creamy matte formula, but whenever I see swatches, they look pretty glossy on the lips, so we'll see. Ooh, that is so creamy. Oh my gosh, that feels so nice. This feels so hydrating on the lips. I could literally choose this over a chapstick if I wanted to. It's that hydrating. Peachy nudes aren't really my thing, but I'm kind of really liking it, especially with all of the bronze we have going on. And I really like the shape of the bullet. It has a pretty decent point to it, and because of the formula and the shape, it makes it so easy to apply and get those nice crisp lines. Like, you really don't need a lip liner to apply this. So color number 2 is called Oouuuu, and this is what it looks like. It's like a very peachy, like light orange color. This is definitely the color I'm most nervous for. I love orange lip colors, but like red orange lip colors or like dark burnt orange lip colors, this is not really my thing, so I'm a little nervous. I could be pleasantly surprised. What? I was not expecting to like this. Wait, what? Honestly, that is really pretty. I feel like this is so perfect for spring and summer. I don't like it with the eye look, but this is really pretty. Like, ooh. Oh! Sorry, that was really cheesy. And then the last shade is called Come On Sis. I love this color. This just looks like a true berry color, at least on my skin tone. Perfect for a night out. It's stunning. And that Oouuuu shade is so unique to what I've seen, honestly, like on the market. Not even just for Colourpop, but I just don't see that kind of color like ever. So I really appreciate the fact that it's like a different, unique, fun color. I feel like makeup companies are a little bit stuck lately on what's new and exciting, what the consumers actually want to see, something to get excited about, and I think she just nailed it with this collection. All right, so for my concluding thoughts, let's start with the palette. I kind of already, I feel like, mentioned how I feel about this throughout the video. The only negative that I really have to say is that we only have 4 shades that are matte in here. I would have liked to see more. I would have liked to see a matte cream shade. That would have been nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This is so worth your money. If these colors gravitate towards you, get it. It's so affordable. Colourpop's shadows are amazing. The quality is there. I mean, you pretty much have whatever you would need to create a kind of look you had in mind. Like, it's pretty much all here. As for the gloss, I love that this isn't a sticky formula. You are gonna have to reapply this throughout the day, but this is a great like lip topper. And I was really impressed with the Luxe lipstick formula. I hadn't tried them prior to today, and they're so comfortable. I feel like they don't look fully matte. I'd say they have more of a satin finish, and they almost feel like a lip balm on the lips, but they're pigmented, so thumbs up on the formula. So that is all for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you might want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so, so much. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!